In today's video, I'm going to break down one of my favorite plays I have used all year. It is out of a super unique formation with the gun double stack, and I have ways to throw this play vertically down the field versus every single coverage in the game. And I'm going to break down exactly how it works versus each one of these defensive plays. Now, one of the things that makes this so unique is the formation it is in, and it is the double stack formation, and it can be found in all of these playbooks, but the only one that has this 4 verticals play in the double stack is the spread playbook. Now, some of the things that make this formation great are these stacks are super wide out from the offensive line. This really forces defenses to spread out to match, and if they don't, you're just gonna have a bunch of quick screens. You can fire it out and make them pay on the edges. Plus, we have some really dynamic runs that will prey on the spread out nature of the defenses, opening up some really big holes for our run game. This double stack look makes it very difficult for defenders to press out on receivers on the outside, and if they do, a lot of the time they will press the wrong guy or get caught up in the mess, allowing us to get an open player streaking down the field for huge pickups. Then if you look through this formation, you'll see some super unique route combos that you won't find in other playbooks, and this can let us get super creative with this formation to attack defenses in some ways they won't have faced before. Now, I'm going to have a full breakdown of this double stack formation on my website, Scheme Kings, and it's going to be up right now, but we will touch on this more a little bit later. Then this double stack formation is out of the spread playbook, so it can be used with the full spread offense I'm releasing on YouTube right now, and I will link that full offense down in the description below. Now, I'm going to break down how this 4 verticals play works versus every one of the main coverages in the game, and this makes it quite possibly the best vertical pass play in Madden 24. Now, one other aspect we'll be covering here that helps make this play even better is using free-form passing. Now, free-form passing is basically a way to pass lead to the receiver outside the normal range that Madden will let you do. This can let you put the ball in positions that only your receiver can catch it and where the DB will have no shot. So when you're throwing the football down the field, you can aim where the ball goes with the left stick, but on a normal throw, it has to stay within the shadowed circle on the ground, limiting how far you can pass lead the football down the field. But now by holding L2, you can actually aim outside the target area, and you're going to have way more control over where the ball is going, and that is going to help a ton to aim the ball away from the coverage on this 4 verticals play. Now, the freeform settings I am using are near and 16 out of 20, and these work great for me, and you can edit these in your settings. All right, so now we're going to look at this 4 verts play versus cover 3. Now, if you look at this play before the snap, this is without any adjustments, and you're going to see, with this play, it looks almost identical on each side of the field. It's basically a mirrored concept. So for cover 3, it doesn't matter which side you come out on. Basically, the running back, you can pick which side you want him to come out on, and it's going to be a wheel from the back of stack player and a streak from the inside. Now, you see they're slightly different wheels and they're slightly different streaks. That doesn't matter for this play. Some of the plays it can affect it a little bit, but for cover 3, it does not. Now, basically, how we want to throw this ball, guys. Now, one thing you could do if you think they're blitzing or whatever, you can block your running back, but I like to keep him out there. But this is no adjustments, just run it as is. And basically what we're looking for is we're going to have these matching wheels on each side of the field, and you can either throw them to the wide side wheel or the short side wheel. Now, the short side wheel tends to be a bit easier of a throw, especially because it is, it's a shorter throw, but the wide side wheel tends to get this player deeper into the middle, which opens it up deeper down the field. So on this play, you'll see the flat. We're not past the flat defender with this wheel yet, but we are here. So if you have to get the ball out a little bit quicker, I'll go to the short side of the field like we are here. So short side of the field, as soon as we clear this flat defender, we can let it go and see where I pass lead. So this is where I was saying we do our free form passing, and you're going to see I'm pass leading this and pulling it back and away from this defensive back as much as I can. See, I pull that outside of this gray circle on the ground, and I'm actually pulling it back and away from this player as far as I can. That is where we want to pass lead this ball versus cover 3. So that was to the short side of the field. Then if we have a bit more time, see, now once this player clears this player on this side, see how the cornerback is closer here, then if you look here, he has to get deeper into the middle here to take this player. That is where we want to go to the wide side of the field. And here, same thing. See where I pass lead this? Back and away outside of that gray circle, as far to the back shoulder away from this player as we can, and we can just drop it in along the sideline. So that is how we throw the wheels. Now, the other thing we can do on this play is if they are starting in too high, and then we think, oh, it might be cover 2, it could be cover 4. Obviously, we want to look at the safeties to identify that before the play. But then after the snap, they rotate down to cover 3. So this guy's going to rotate, this guy's going to rotate down. So now this player becomes the deep blue, deep middle defender. If that happens, this player is going to get open down the seam because this player rotates up. So you just want to go, you can go down the seam to the opposite way of the rotation, right? So this guy's rotating, but now he's on the hash mark here. So he's going to close down this side more, and that's going to leave an opening up the seam for the short side away from the rotation seam route. Now you'll see where I pass lead this again. Now we want to pass lead it away from this player up the seam. So we want to pass lead up into the seam right there. So if those safeties rotate, that is where we want to throw that ball. Then the last thing on this play, so once again, safeties rotate here, kind of getting pressure. Didn't really like the looks on the outside. Our check down versus cover 3 is just going to be this running back that sits down. It is 1st and 10. We can drop it into him and can pick up, a few yards and live to fight another day. Okay, now we're going to look at this play versus cover 2. Now, pre-snap, once again, guys, there is going to be no adjustments on this play. We can just run this stock. Now, once again, I should have went over this a little bit more at the start. One way we can really take a judge on what they're going to be in is read the safeties. If it's too high, it could be cover 2 man, cover 4, cover 3. It could be a rotation, but that's always going to give us a decent idea. So if we see too high and they've been running cover 2 earlier in the game, that makes us think cover 2. Okay, so now we look. This is how we see it's cover 2. So 2 deep safeties here. Then these players looking at the QB and kind of settling into the flat. So we have our 2 flats right here. Now we're going to have our wheels getting to the outside with our streaks holding these players in. Wheels to the outside. Now usually I'm going to throw this to the wide side hole shot right here. Just once again, it's going to be a shorter distance for this backside safety to run. It's going to be a longer distance for this guy to run this way. So we're just going to wait till he passes this flat defender. Once he does, we want to pass lead this up and away. So we want to keep it away from this safety as much as we can. So we want to pass lead that up and away from him, drop it in front of that safety. So right in the hole shot. Once again, there's no adjustments on this play. You can just run it as is. Here's the flat defender. This flat defender is getting way back. So we have to wait till he clears this player. So you do need some pass protection if they have their flats dropped. This guy's getting to like 20-25 yards. Once you clear him, if you have time though, it doesn't matter. Pass lead that up and away from the safety, possession catch it, and we get a touchdown in the back corner. Here it is again. Boom. As soon as you clear that flat defender, here he's playing way shallower. Pass lead that up and away, drop that in. So super easy versus cover 2. Now the other thing we can do versus cover 2 here is we can actually throw these inside seams. So what you're going to see here is here's the deep blue defender right here. And this inside seam right here, the deep blue defender has to basically split these 2 players. Now, if they don't have a mid read or another linebacker getting super back here, this player is going to kind of come up the field here. Especially this works better on the wide side of the field once again. This player has to split these 2 players. So he's going to go in between them. So now you can pass lead this player up the middle of the field. Look where I'm pass leading the ball. So the circles right here, I'm holding L2 and I'm pass leading as far as I can up and to the middle of the field away from that safety. Boom. I'm going to rewind that just a little bit so you guys can see. Look at where I'm pass leading that. So far inside up the middle of the field, and we can just hit that streak for a walk-in touchdown versus cover 2. So that's 2 ways you can throw this deep versus cover 2. Then same on this play. If you're getting pressure and you don't have time to this guy actually turns and runs this with this player. This one looked a little tight. Here's our check down over the middle, drop it in to him. 2nd and 10, we pick up 9 yards. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this video where I'll give you 5 more plays for this double stack formation that are going to pair with this 4 verts play and let you attack defenses in a ton of different ways, whether that's through the air or on the ground with your run game. Then there's also going to be a ton more videos on the site that are also in the spread playbook that you can pair with this double stack scheme to give you so many more options. Then also on the site, you can find my 5 other full schemes that are out so far for Madden 24 with my Ravens attacking defense, my NFL spread offensive scheme, my Georgia Bulldogs match-based D, plus my wide zone offense and my NFL Mount Rushmore scheme. Then you can also get access to my playbooks on Scheme Kings, which are full written breakdowns for my schemes. I believe between Madden 23 and Madden 24, I have about 11 out so far, with my newest being my Ravens attacking defense that is 44 pages long, and it is going to make it so much easier to run each one of my schemes and make them that much more effective. Then starting today, we have a sale on the site. Use code SPREAD at checkout for 50% off your first month. This sale is going to run till May 12th. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I'll leave a link for it down in the description below. Okay, next we're going to look at this play versus cover 4, and this is going to be like a cover 4 drop, not really against match. Match is the one coverage I wouldn't really throw this against, but cover 4 drop, this is going to work. So cover 4 drop, that's going to be 2 safeties back. There's going to be no adjustments on this play. Just run it as is. But the difference with this play is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 deep right here. So if it's 4 deep, you know, it is going to make it a tighter throw on this back corner, but this streak is really going to pull both of these players on this side of the field. I actually like to throw this to the short side better. It's going to pull both these guys up with the inside streak. And now when this player gets in behind the flat and deeper along the sideline, about 20 yards, now we can pass lead this. Look where we're pulling it back and away from this player. And we want to just do a back shoulder throw up along the sideline versus cover 4. Back shoulder it. So it's cover 4 once again. Here's going to be the 4 players getting deep. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 2 players on the short side of the field are going to commit to this route. We can just throw this back shoulder right here, drop this in along the sideline, possession catch it in front of this guy. I find the verse cover 4, the short side just is a bit easier of a throw, but we can go to the wide side right here. Wide side of the field, it's going to work the same way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and look where I pass lead that back and away as far from this player as I can. Back shoulder that in behind the flat defender, drop that right there, possession catch it in front of him. Huge gain down the field. And then once again, if it's too tight along the sideline, don't really like the look of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe could have went here, but you know, you can always check it down. The check down's the running back on this play, drop it into him. Easy game. Okay, now we're gonna look at this play versus cover 0 or cover 1 man. Now this is the one that's a little bit unique. This one's gonna be a little bit different. So the route I like to throw when it's cover 1 or cover 0 is this more longer rounded fade. Not this one. This one's a little sharper and doesn't get as far to the outside. I like to go to the route that is away from the running back. So really with this side of the field, if it's cover 1 or cover 0, you can do whatever. If you wanted to do another slant, if you wanted to do a wheel, you can. If it's cover 1 or cover 0, I also like to put the front of stack receiver here on a slant. You don't have to, but that is what I like to do. It's basically going to open up this streak on the outside. Now, this is the streak we want, the one on the opposite side of the running back, and I want you to see what happens. This is why I kind of left this one over here as well. Like I said, you can put these routes on different ones, but I wanted to show you guys what this fade looks like, or this wheel, and how the DB reacts. So when they get upfield, this is what's going to happen. So if you look on this wheel, this guy's step for step and actually even in front of this guy. This wheel is always behind this player. He gets into a trail position on this wheel. So in this trail position with man coverage, we can actually pass lead this ball into the inside away from this trail. He's going to be like in his back hip, and against man coverage, you can pass lead this up and to the inside. It's going to be cover one, so there is going to be a safety, but he's going to be way far away from this route. Pass lead it to the inside, and this guy's going to always be in a trail position, and we can drop it in. So it doesn't matter about wide or short side. You want to do the route that's on this longer wheel, not this sharper wheel. Now, like I said, I like to put this front sky in a slant, and that's just because you're going to see here, if you don't, there's just going to be more players up here that makes the throw a little bit more congested. Like that guy can click off and get to it. But I want you to look at this. Look at where the DB is. He's going to be in a trail outside position, where if you look here, this guy's on an inside position. So if you try to throw this to this other wheel, it does not work. But right here, he's a trail outside shade, so we can pass lead this up and to the inside as much as we can, and you can just pass it in front of the man coverage. Try this in practice mode. Once you get the timing down, it works crazy well. Okay, so that is the one way this works. The other way this can work is if they are pressing you. Now you're gonna see here, it looks kind of like two man, but they're gonna rotate to single man. But if they press, this is where it gets weird. So they press here. They're actually going to jam this inside receiver, the front of stack receiver. Then our outside wheels are going to get outside of these jam players. So if that happens, you're going to see here, they press. These players get up into the outside, and they're in trailing position. Single high safety. If they're pressing, totally going to mess with that. And we can throw to either one of these wheels to the outside. Here we throw it to the right side wheel, and he's in for a score. So that is versus press. Okay, I mixed these routes up. I thought I had one more. So that was against press. Here it is right here. This is going to be one more where we're throwing to this wheel who does the more outside away from the running back. He's going to go up. He's going to get out. See how this guy's inside shade right away? This guy's going to get behind and outside shade. Pass lead that up into the inside of him, and you can just drop that in front of the man coverage. It's super consistent. It works very well. This is another reason I like to put this slant, is just because it's going to break to the inside, especially against a zero man look. So they're bringing a heavy pressure. This slant can be a really good option if they're bringing a blitz. User kind of comes to this side of the field. Slant is just going to be over the middle as a quick option if you don't have time. And here against a zero man, they have no one over the middle. So we're able to turn this into a score. But this is a great option if they don't have, you know, that safety over the top and they're bringing pressure. That just gives us a nice check down option. All right, so last one we are going to go over is against cover two man or two man under defenses. So cover two man, that is going to be all man coverage right here with two deep safeties over the top. And I absolutely love this play against it. No adjustments on this play, just run as is. Here, if they're playing press, this can work because a lot of the time they'll jam that front receiver. But what really is the key with this play is because people are playing cover two man, how this works stock is these players are going to be shaded down. So they're going to be playing underneath these receivers because they say, oh, I have safety help over the top, so we don't want to give them anything short, and we'll let the safeties help us. But now this basically just works like cover two, where we have two deep corner or deep safeties here that are going to get held inside by these inside streaks, and these outside fades are going to get wide open up the sideline. You can just wait till these players get down the field. Like these safeties are going to get held in the middle. These guys are going to be in trail behind them, and you can just throw these wheels up the sideline. They're going to be wide open. If you're even that open, you can just rack catch it and get it down the sideline. Here it is again. They're rolled up. They're going to jam the wrong player on this side of the field. They're going to be in a trail position. This player is going to get held inside, and we can just drop that streak up the field, turn up field, rack catch it, get a huge gain. Here it is again. Boom, trail. Oh, so this one's a little bit different. So sometimes what you'll see teams or players do as well is it'll be like a two-man under. But what some people will do is they'll put these players out in flats instead to take the flats. I wanted to show you one of those. So if that happens, these guys are going to go to the flats to take those away, and they're actually going to let these streaks get up the field. But once again, it's going to be a shaded down type defense. So these guys are going to be in trail behind these two inside streaks, and now we can bomb them over the top with the inside streaks as well. So if those guys are in trail, that works that way. Here it is again, cover two man over the top, trail position. So a lot of those first ones I was throwing to the short side of the field, even though it was Tyreek Hill. But here, this guy's in trail. They have a streak over the top. This is the wide side of the field on this one. Lay it up to Tyreek over the top, pick up like 30 yards on the play. Can work almost every time against cover 2 man. And then our check down option on this play is going to be our running back, guys. So it's 2 man under cover. Oh, so one thing you can do actually as well is you can put this guy in a streak, because you really only need one of these wheels. So if you're like, they're running cover 2 man a lot, I want to give them an option over the middle they have to take away. We can still have our wheel on this side of the field, and if he gets open, we can throw it. But if he gets covered, now we're going to have the streak or the slant over the middle, and that is just another kind of option you can go with, and we throw that slant in there.